Good morning. In my previous lectures, I was discussing about potential difference. Then I was talking about the resistance of the conducting material. Okay, and then I was talking about the resistivity of the conducting material. Okay, after covering the resistance and resistivity of the conducting material, then I was discussing about the rise in temperature. Okay, and if I was talking about there, if the temperature will be rise, then how it will affect to the resistance or resistivity of the conducting material. Okay, those things we have covered in our previous lectures. Also I have done some numericals on that. Okay, now in my this lecture I want to talk about combination of resistance in series and parallel. Here I want to talk about the resistance. If the resistances are connected in series or connected in parallel, what will happen? Okay, so I will discuss everything here in detail. Okay, so before going to talk about these things, first I want to talk here what is Ohm's law. Okay, so as per the Ohm's statement, okay, Ohm's law, the ratio of potential difference which is V, okay, that is between any 2 point of a conductor, okay, to the current, that is capital I, flowing between them or between the 2 points will be constant. Okay, provided the temperature of the conductor will not change there. Okay, in other words or mathematically I can write V by I is constant or V by I will be R. Okay, or V by the value of V by R is R, where the constant R is the resistance of the conductor between 2 points which are considered, or between the 2 points of the conductor R is the resistance. Okay, when V and I are directly proportional to each other there. Okay, so its simply meaning is provided R is kept constant, current is directly proportional to the potential difference across the end of a conductor. However, this linear relationship between V and I does not apply to all metallic conductors. For example, okay, silicon carbide. Okay, so the for example silicon carbide, okay, carbide. Okay, so the relation which is V is equal to K into I, where K I or the relation which is B is equal to K into I to the power m, where K and m are constant and m is less than unit. So here I can tell that when we are applying to non-linear devices such as Zener diode and voltage regulator, PIR or VR tubes, then here, okay, the Ohm's law is not satisfied. Okay, now I want to discuss on a question. Okay, a question is there: a coil of copper wire has resistance of 90 ohm at 20 degree centigrade, okay, and is connected to a 230 volt supply. By how much must the voltage be increased in order to maintain the current constant if the temperature of the coil rises to 60 degree centigrade? Okay, take the temperature coefficient of resistance of copper as 0.00428 from 0 degree centigrade. Okay, so I can when I'm coming to solution, okay, when I'm coming to solution, go through the detailed data is given in the question, read the question carefully and observe the given data, then only I can do the solution here, or then you can understand the solution, or you can do the solution yourself based upon the formulas. So as per our previous discussion, okay, or in our previous lectures, we know that R60 by R20 is what? 1 plus 60 into 0.00428, 0.00428. Again I am writing. So when I am writing R60 by R20, okay, I can write 1 plus 60 into 0.00428 divided by 1 plus 20, okay, into 0.00428. Okay, so I can write here R60 is equal to 90 into 1.2568 divided by 1.0856. okay, so that means R60 will come as 104.2 ohm. Okay, now current at 20 degree centigrade, okay, which will be 230 volt divided by 90, okay, which will be 230 or 23 by 9 ampere. Okay, so this is the current. Okay, because resistance is given there as a 90 ohm and the voltage is given there as 230 volt. So when I am writing the current at 20 degree centigrade, as at 20 degree centigrade the resistance is 90 ohm and the supply voltage is 230 volt there, so I have written the current as 23 by 9 ampere. Okay, now since the wire resistance has become 104.2 ohm at 60 degree centigrade, already we have calculated the new voltage required for keeping the current constant at its previous value will be, so the new voltage value will be, the new voltage value will be, so the new voltage value will be, that will be 104, okay, 0.2 into current is 23 divided by 9. Okay, so the value will be come as 266.3 volt. Okay, so increase in voltage, suppose now I want to talk about the increase in voltage required. The increase in voltage required will be, the increase in voltage required will be 266.3 minus 230. Okay, so it will what, 36.3 volt. Okay, so the increase in voltage required will be 36.3 volt. Okay, so now you got the solution. Okay, come to the next slide. So now come to a discussion on resistors in series. Okay, here I am going to discuss about the resistors which are in series. Okay, so when some conductors having resistance, that is, it may be the resistors may be R1, R2 and R3. Okay, which are connected in series, means they are joined end to end. Okay, and I'm giving the figure here. Okay, so here the resistors which is R1, R2 and R3. Okay, these are connected in series, that means they are connected end to end connection. Okay, and this connection is known as, means when I'm talking about end to end connection, obviously this connection means what, they are connected as in series, and it can be proved here that the equivalent resistance of the total resistance. Okay, if I'm calculating the equivalent resistance or the total resistance between the from starting of the resistance point to the end point of the last resistance. Okay, from that means when we are talking about R1, R2 and R3 are in series, and suppose I'm talking about the total equivalent resistance, okay, of these three resistance, that will be the sum of the three individual resistance. Okay, that means if I am adding the three individual resistance magnitude, then only I can get the equivalent resistance value when the resistance are connected in series. Okay, so here I have shown the equivalent resistance. Okay, that is RS, or I can tell normally we can denote the equivalent resistance as R. Okay, RS, here I have shown the equivalent resistance is RS. Okay, so the with respect to potential difference, I have shown the total equivalent resistance which is connected in series with the potential difference which is V. Okay, and across the potential difference V, the whole equivalent resistance which RS is connected, and due to RS is connected to the or across the potential difference V, we are getting the current I. Okay, now when we are talking about the series circuit of the resistance, so we can tell here that the current is the same through all the three conductors. Okay, so I have considered the resistance which R1, R2 and R3. So if I want to talking about the current passing through all the three resistors, that will be same. Okay, that means the current in R1 and R2 and R3 are same. Okay, similarly I can tell here the voltage drop across each different due to its different resistance, and it is given by Ohm's law. Okay, and similarly I can tell here that the sum of three voltage drops is equal to the voltage applied across the three conductors. Okay, that means if I are separately adding the voltage drop produced from each and every resistors, and I suppose I'm adding, then I can get the total voltage applied across the three conductors, and there is a progressive fall in potential if we are moving from the starting point to end point okay, of the connection. Okay, now suppose we are assuming that the potential differences which are B1, B2 and B3 are the potential differences across each of the resistors R1, R2 and R3 respectively. Then we can explain there that V1 will be nothing but that will be the current into resistor R1. Okay, so V1 will be I R1. Similarly, suppose I want to talk about the potential difference of the voltage V2, that will be equal to IR2, because current in each and every resistor are same, so V2 will be IR2. And similarly, if I want to talk about the potential difference, that is V3, that will be also okay. I can write V3 as IR3. And if I want to talk about the value of V, okay, so I can write V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, so I can tell here B is equal to B1 plus B2 plus B3, or I can write B is equal to here IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, as the value of B1, B2 and B3 are IR1, IR2 and IR3 respectively. Now if I want to uh, write the value of B again, okay, or I want to simplify the equation, then I can take common, uh, which is there the common value is current I, so I can take common I, then I can write I into R1 plus R2 plus R3, but R1 plus R2 and R3 is nothing but that is our equivalent resistance, okay, which is RS I can tell here, okay, or in simple way also I can tell that is equivalent R equivalent or RS. Okay, so if I am considering the equivalent resistance as RS, so I can write V is equal to I RS here. Okay, so now I can tell here, okay, RS is what? RS is the RS is what? RS is R1 plus RS is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, that means when several resistances are connected in series, the total equivalent resistance is the sum of the individual resistances. So because of that, I am getting RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, getting. Now come to a numerical. Okay, so here this is a numerical. Okay, calculate the equivalent resistance for the circuit which is connected to 24 volt battery, and also find the potential difference across 4 ohm and 6 ohm resistor in the circuit. So see the circuit here. Okay, see the circuit here. Here R1 which is 4 ohm and R2 which is 6 ohm are connected in series, and these two resistors are combinedly connected across a potential difference of a battery. Okay, it is connected to a battery whose potential difference is what, 24 volt. Okay, so when they are connecting in series, okay, then I want to find out the equivalent resistance for the circuit. Okay, so now come to the solution. So see the solution here. So since the resistors are, as per our theoretical discussion, we know that the effective resistance that will be the addition of the individual resistances when they are connected in series. So for that the equivalent resistance or effective resistance will be that will be R equivalent will be what, 4 plus 6. So for that I have written here 4 plus 6 ohm, which will be 10 ohm, and the current in the circuit will be what. So as per our discussion, or as per our question, what is the voltage there? The voltage value is 24 volt. Okay, and already we have derived the R equivalent is what? R equivalent is what? 10 ohm. Okay, so R equivalent already we have derived as 10 ohm. So if I want to calculate the current I in the circuit, okay, as per our previous circuit, if I want to calculate the current I in the circuit, then I can calculate the current as, okay, that will be V by R equivalent. That will be V by, that will be I is equal to V by R equivalent, which will be 24 by 10. Okay, so that will be equal to 2.4 ampere. Okay, already I have shown you in the solution. Now I want to calculate, according to question, I want to calculate the voltage across 4 ohm resistor. Also I want to calculate the voltage across 6 ohm resistor. Okay, so as per our theoretical discussion, already we know that V1 is what? I R1. Okay, so in the place of I, already we have calculated the current is 2.4 ampere, and in the place of R1 already the data is given, which is 4 ohm resistor. Okay, so I can, when I have to write V1, so I have to multiply the current into the resistance R1. So it will become 2.4 into 4, which is 9.6 volt. Similarly, suppose I want to calculate the voltage across 6 ohm resistors, and then here I can write V I R2. This is not R1, this is R2. Okay, so in the place of R2 I can take the resistance as 6 ohm, because R2 is what, 6 ohm, and the current already we have calculated, that is 2.4 ampere. Okay, so when I'm writing the potential difference V2 across the second resistance, which is R2, and the value is 6 ohm resistor. Okay, so then I can write V2 as IR2, which is 2.4 ampere into 6 ohm. Then the magnitude will come as 14.4 volt. Okay, so this is the calculation for a voltage across two resistances according to the numerical when they are connected in series. Okay, or when the resistances are connected in series. Now if I want to discuss about the voltage divider rule, if I want to discuss here about the voltage divider rule, okay, so here the total resistance will be what, that is R equivalent, that is which is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, and suppose I want to talk about the voltage divider rule where, okay, so various voltage drops across the resistors. Okay, so according to voltage divider rule, I can formulate here for V1. Already we have done the numerical, but I want to talk about the voltage divider rule here. Okay, so you have to remember these things. So that will be V1 will be that will be the total voltage into R1 by R. Okay, that is R equivalent. Okay, So similarly, so suppose I want to calculate the V1 voltage, which is the voltage across resistor R1, then I have to write the formula for V R1 divided by R equivalent. Similarly, suppose I want to get V2, okay, that will be, I can write V into R2 divided by R equivalent. Similarly, if I want to get V3, there I can write V into R3 divided by R equivalent. So this is the voltage divider rule. So this will be helpful us when we will do some numericals. Okay. Now coming to discuss about the resistances in parallel. Okay, so see the figure here. Okay, here I have taken three resistance R1, R2. Okay, three resistances R1, R2 and R3. R1, R2 and R3, which are connected parallelly, or which are connected parallel. Okay, and here when I'm talking about the connection parallel, okay, the meaning of parallel is, okay, when they are connected parallel, that means the all the resistors are connected across the same potential difference. So when I'm talking about the total current, that is I, that will leave the battery, it will split into three separate parts. If I'm considering three resistors, here in this case actually I have considered three resistors, so the current I will be split into three parts. That will be current I1, okay, and I2 and I3, okay. Similarly, okay, and here the current I1, I2 and I3 will be through the resistors, or these three currents will be passed through the resistors R1, R2 and R3. Okay, so here I can tell potential difference across all the resistances. Okay, the potential difference across all the resistance is same. Okay, that is the potential difference across R1 will be, see here also B. Similarly, the potential difference across R2 is also B. Similarly, the potential difference across R3 is also B. That means the potential difference across all the three resistances are same. Okay, I'm talking about the potential difference. Okay, similarly I can tell the current in each resistor is different. Okay, and it is by Ohm's law only. Okay, as per the Ohm's law. Okay, and here the current in each resistor is different. Okay, the current in each resistor is different. Okay, and here when I'm talking about the total current, okay, if I want to talk about the total current, which is the total current, which is I, that will be the sum of three separate current, the sum of three separate currents. Okay, so that means I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Clear? So when I'm writing current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, that means I can write what is the value of I1. That will be the potential across the resistor R1 is what? V. So I can write V by R1 for I1. Similarly, like for I2 I can write V by R2, and plus I for I3 I can write V by R3. Okay. Now what is the value of current I? And I is what? I is nothing but that is our V by R. Okay. I is what? That is your V by R. Okay. Where V is applied voltage and R is what? When I am writing I is V by R. Okay. So V is the applied voltage. V is equal to the applied voltage. And R is nothing but that is our R equivalent. So R is what? The equivalent resistance. R equivalent, I can write I is equal to V by R equivalent. So R equivalent is the equivalent resistance. Okay, of the parallel combination of the resistances. So now I can write here that is V by R equivalent, which will be V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. So I can write here 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, which will be I can write G is equal to G1 plus G2 plus G3, where G is the conductance. Okay. Now here I have shown you the equivalent resistance, okay, with respect to the potential difference that is applied. This is V, this is R equivalent, okay, and this is the current I, okay. So here already we have written the 1 by R equivalent. Okay, this is R equivalent. 1 by R equivalent is equal to R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, where R equivalent is the equivalent resistance of the parallel combination of the resistors, and here the number of resistors are connected in parallel, and the sum of the reciprocal of the values of resistance of the individual resistor is equal to the reciprocal of the effective resistance of the combination. Okay, so as per our mathematical calculation. So now the main characteristic of the parallel circuit may be discussed here, that is the same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. Here same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. Similarly, I can tell here that the different resistors have their individual current. When I am talking about different resistors, when it is parallel connection, different resistors have different currents. Okay, similarly, I can tell here the branch current are additive. As per our calculation, I think you can understand now. Here the branch Here the branch currents when the combination of resistances are parallel. Here the branch currents are additive, okay, and the conductance are also additive. Here the conductance are also additive. Conductances are also additive, okay, and the powers are also additive. If I want to calculate the total power, okay, then I can calculate the individual resistors power consumption. Then if I am adding, then I can get the total power by adding the individual power consumptions. So here I can tell the power are also additive when the connection of the resistances are parallel, okay. Now coming to a numerical here, okay, coming to discuss for a numerical. Here calculate the equivalent resistance, okay, in the following circuit, and also find the current I1 find the current I1 and I2 in the given circuit. The circuit is given here. So two resistors are, which is R1 and R2. R1 value is 4 ohm and the value of R2 is 6 ohm. These are connected parallelly across a battery source where the voltage is 24 volt, okay, and the main current is I here, okay, the main current is I here, and here the branch currents are I1, which is across the, or which is going through the resistor R1, and here the current is I2, which is passes through the resistor R2, that is 6 ohm resistor, okay. So this is the given data. Now coming to the solution, okay. So as per the equation, now we know that this is 1 by R equivalent, okay, will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So in the place of, suppose I want to calculate the R equivalent value, okay, I can write R1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, which will be, and already we know the values of R1 and R2, where R1 is 4 ohm and R2 is 6 ohm. Now I have to put the data, so I can write 1 by R equivalent, 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. Similarly, suppose I am simplifying the equation, or I am getting and I am calculating R equivalent, then finally I can get R equivalent. This is R equivalent. So R equivalent will be 12 by 5. So here the R equivalent will be here the R equivalent will be 12 by 5 ohm, okay. Now what is our aim? I have to find out current I1, and then I have to find out current I2, because in my last calculation I have to find out the main current I. So first I have to find out the current I1, okay. So when I want to talk about current I1, so how can I find out current I1? So according to division rule, I1 will be what? V by R1, because the voltage across the resistor R1 is V, so I can write I1 is V by R1, and the value of voltage is given as 24, and the R1 value is what? The value of R1 is nothing more, that is our 4 ohm, okay. So it will be 24 by 4, that will be 6 ohm, okay. So this is not 6, this is 4 ohm, okay. So I1 will be 6 ampere. Then when I want to calculate the value of I2, okay, so I2 will be what? I can write V by R2 there, because across the resistor R2 the voltage will be also V, and the value of resistor is R2. So when I want to calculate I2, I can write I2 as 24 by 6, so it will be 4 ampere. Now I am able to find out the value of current I1 and I2. So now if I want to get the total current I, okay, now if I want to get the total current, if I want to find out the total current I, that will be obviously I1 plus I2, because when we are connecting the resistors in parallel, then the currents are additive in nature. So I can get I is I1 plus I2, so that will become 6 plus 4, so the total current will be 10 ampere. Okay, so now I can talk about from another example. Okay, so when two resistances connected in series and parallel, their equivalent resistances are 15 ohm and 56 by 15 ohm respectively. Now we have to find the individual resistances. So as per the question, okay, we came to know that the R, when the resistances are in series, then their R equivalent or R series equivalent will be R1 plus R2, which is 15. Okay, so here R equivalent S, that is R1 plus R2, R equivalent S, which will be R1 plus R2, which is 15. And similarly, as per the next data, when it is parallel, so R equivalent parallel will be, here that will be RP will be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, because 1 by there, when I am writing R equivalent, when the two resistance will be connected in parallel, then I can write 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay, so accordingly I can write R equivalent as R1 R equivalent parallel as R1 plus R2 divided by R1 plus R2 as per the data here, as per the equation here. Okay, so that will be RP is given as, or R equivalent parallel is given as 56 by 15. Okay, now by combining these two equations, and okay, now, or from equation 1, okay, already the value of R1 plus R2 is given as 15, and now I suppose I have to put the value, equation 1 in equation 2. Okay, because here in equation 2 there is a term that is R1 plus R2. So when I am substituting the value of R1 plus R2, I can write okay, R1 R2 divided by 15 as 56 by 15. Okay, so I can write R1 R2 as 56. Okay, so from here I can get, okay, R2 as, so now I can write here R2 as 56 by, from this equation I can write R2 as 56 by R1. Okay, this is not 15, this is R1. Okay, so now when I am writing the equation 1 now, okay, or substituting R2 in equation 1 now, so now I can write R1 plus, in the place of R2, 56 by R1, which will be 15. Okay, so after simplifying, now here one unknown term is there, that is R1. So after simplification, okay, I can write the equation, okay, here. So that is r1 square, that is r1 square plus 56, that is r1 square plus 56 is 15, that is r1 square plus 56 is what? 15 r1. Okay, so here that means I can write r1 square minus 15 r1. So the equation will be become, so I can write the equation now. R1, that is the polynomial equation, r1 square minus 15 r1 plus 56 will be 0. Okay, so if I want to solve the equation using factorization, okay, so I can do a factorization method, or I can follow the factorization method to solve it. So I can write r1 square minus 8 r1 minus 7 r1 plus 56 for the 50 in the place of 15 r1, in the place of 15 r1, okay, I have written, or in the place of minus 15 r1 I have written minus 8 r1 minus 8 r1 minus 7 r1 I have written there. Okay, so that means when now we are solving the equation, somehow that I can write r1 whole into r1 minus 8 minus 7, taking common save minus 7, I can again write minus 7 into r1 minus 8, that will be 0. So I can write here r1 minus 8 into r1 minus 7 will be 0. Okay, so we know that the value of r1 is 8 ohm. Okay, if you are using the value of r1 is 8 ohm, okay, then I can write 8 plus r2 will be so from the solution of r1, because I can write r1 minus 8 as 0 and I can write r1 minus 7 is also 0. So here I can get a solution of r1 is equal to 8 or 7. Okay, so if I am considering r1 as 8 ohm, okay, from the solution, if I am considering r1 as 8 ohm and I am using the value of r1 as 8 ohm in the first equation, then I can write 8 plus r2 is equal to 15. Then from that I can get the value of r2 as 7 ohm. Okay, because r1 plus r2 as 15 ohm. Similarly, if I am taking the value of r1 as 7, okay, if I am considering another solution, that is r2 as 7 ohm, okay, so in that case what will happen? r2 will be, okay, r2 will be what? 8 ohm. Okay, so now I can consider another. Here the question is calculate the equivalent resistance between A and B in the given circuit. Okay, so here the circuit is there, it is given. Okay, take this circuit and the resistors are known here. Okay, that is terminal is A, this is our terminal B. Okay, so here we have to calculate the equivalent resistance between the terminal A and B. So you have to here suppose I am giving you some hints here. Okay, suppose I am considering this part. Here the resistor 2 ohm and 2 ohm are in parallel. Similarly, suppose I am considering this part. Here also the resistors are connected in parallel. Okay, and similarly suppose I am considering this part. Here also the two resistors which is 6 ohm and 6 ohm are in parallel. So first I have to consider each part separately. Okay, this part first find out the according to parallel combination or parallel connection, find out the equivalent resistance. Similarly for this you have to find out the equivalent resistance, then for this also you have to find out the equivalent resistance. Once you will get the equivalent resistance of each parallel connection, then the equivalent resistance then the resultant equivalent resistance will be connected in series between terminal A and B. So once you are getting the series connection between the equivalent resistance, so you have to go through the suppose you want to calculate the equivalent resistance of the series connection, okay, which is produced from the parallel combination. Okay, so you have to add there, okay, as the equivalent resistance is coming from the parallel connections are in series, then we will get the equivalent resistance of the between the point A and B. So this is my hint. You can work out this numerical yourself. Okay, thank you very much.